I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My new policy is made up of 3 core points. First, I will prevent any Muslims from entering into the United States by simply ignoring the fact that the United States was literally founded on freedom of religion. Additionally, I will not allow any U.S. citizens that are Muslim to re-enter the United States if they go abroad for any span of time. That means that even if you're going to Canada for the day, you can't come back if you're Muslim. My next 2 points are fairly similar and work hand in hand quite nicely. I will begin by infringing on the constitutional rights of millions of Americans by disregarding the Fourth Amendment's right to privacy and the First Amendment's right to assemble. Now, any other person may find it difficult to accomplish these large goals simultaneously, so allow me to elaborate. I will succeed in this great undertaking by forcing the entire Muslim population of the United States to be registered in a federal database solely on the basis of their religion. And finally, my personal favorite, that infringes on the First and Fourth Amendments simultaneously, I plan to place all mosques under surveillance. All I have to do is claim that the entire Muslim population are terrorists, and then my warrantless surveillance is covered under the Patriot Act. Isn't that great? You seem to have forgotten. I'm very rich.
Good morning, King Philip, and welcome to this edition of Wake Up Warriors.
Vowing to stick with the Republican Party, Donald Trump has survived yet another debate as the polls still show him as the leader of the pack.
Should we be surprised he is the Republican frontrunner? He's referred to Mexicans as rapists, questioned John McCain's status as a war hero, ridiculed the physical appearance of his opponents, and last week, in a statement released to the press, Trump demanded a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
You regret your ban on Muslims, which some people think is un-American.
Not at all. We have to do the right thing. Somebody in this country has to say what's right. I have great respect and love. I have people that I have tremendous relationships with. They're Muslim. And Barbara, they agree with me 100%. It's short term. Let our country get its act together. They knocked down the World Trade Center. They tried doing it twice. Other things have happened. There are people that have tremendously bad intentions. We have to be tough, we have to be smart, and we have to be vigilant.
Polls show that of the 1.6 billion Muslims globally, only 17% have become radicalized, meaning that they think violence against civilians is justified.
Taking such a drastic unilateral action against such a large majority based on the actions of a minority is unjustifiable.
History has shown the dangers of this time and time again.
We think it's extremely important to note something Trump said that should be categorically clarified.
He said they knocked down the World Trade Center. We should all be careful not to make generalizations about Muslims when sharing our views.
Muslims follow a religion of peace, mercy, and forgiveness, and the majority have nothing to do with the extremely grave events which have come to be associated with their faith.
What do you think on Donald Trump's comments about Muslims?
I think he's a racist because he doesn't understand what he's talking about most of the time, and he just assumes the worst in people.
I think he's a fascist, and he's using hate to gain votes, and that's not good.
I think it's really disheartening that that sort of bigotry has found a place in our political discussion. It's a shame that a popular candidate for president would espouse those sort of views. I think they make our country look bad in front of the world. I think it engenders some of the extremism and hatred that we should be trying to fight.
And as details continue to emerge in the aftermath of the San Bernardino attack, our nation is on the edge and confused.
Terror threats shut down the entire Los Angeles school system on Tuesday, affecting over 640,000 students.
The email threat that came in said in part, "I am a devout Muslim. Me and my 32 comrades will die tomorrow in the name of Allah. Every school in the LA Unified District is being targeted. We have bombs hidden in lockers already at several schools, and they will be detonated via cell phone. Not only are there bombs, but there are nerve gas agents set to go off at a specific time during lunch hour. The students at every school in the LA Unified District will be massacred mercilessly, and there is nothing you can do to stop it."
Similar threats were made in New York City, Houston, and Miami. However, classes were not canceled in those cities.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm scared and at the same time I feel like really angry because they're just trying to scare us and they're doing it.
Unfortunately, a world riddled with violence and hate is what we must confront. But how?
A CBS interview with actor Mandy Patinkin, who plays a fictional CIA division chief racing to save the world from a terror attack, pulled some interesting perspectives about terrorism forward that we'd like to share.
You don't have to be Einstein to figure out that this is going to keep happening. This is going to happen long past our children's and our grandchildren's lifetime. This is a different kind of war. I'm very hopeful, I'm very optimistic about the world, about the mess that we're all living in right now. I think people tune into our show because they're looking for an answer. They're looking for some insight to a world that's on fire, a world that's burning, and you wonder why. And my prayer, my hope, Saul Berenson's prayer, Saul Berenson's hope is that there's something in between the lines. There's something in the way we listen to each other, which people aren't doing anymore. And what that something is, I think, Mandy thinks, I believe Saul thinks, is we need to come up with a new paradigm because the violence isn't working. Don't tell me that guns aren't a part of the problem. They are a part of the problem. We need to stop gun violence in America and all over the world. An incident in Paris happens, you send planes and you bomb more, and then it makes more people who are marginalized by society living in towns where they have no education, they have no opportunity, so they're looking for a place to live. So what if we bombed all of these people with opportunity, with infrastructure, with schools, with medical facilities, with homes, with everything the West has? What if we gave them everything imaginable to make their lives wonderful so that they had no need to turn away? So no one in that epicenter of existence can sit back and say, we're being cheated. We are not given freedom, justice, and dignity. And we can show that we are the human beings, the Americans, that we claim that our forefathers wished us to be.
Mr. Patinkin makes some very interesting points, and it would surely be interesting to see his ideas in action.
Especially since we just experienced some of that powerful spirit of America last week.
Our KP Cares Giving Tree has touched the lives of many people in need right here in our little epicenter.
KP Cares received 350 gift requests for the Giving Tree. The requests came from 95 children across 41 families in the community. I was amazed at how quickly every tag was taken. We did have some more expensive requests that the families didn't think were possible, but the KP community fulfilled every single request. The football players bought a PS4, National Honor Society purchased an iPad, Yearbook Club bought a computer, Life Touch donated a camera, the girls' track team bought a Nintendo 3DS, and one of Mr. Skenyon's classes bought the latest iPod Touch. Mrs. Greenleaf also got over 50 stuffed animals donated from PetSmart as extra gifts for the families. Upon receipt of the gifts, the families shed tears of joy and were completely awestruck at what we had accomplished. Those who had the more expensive items could not believe the generosity of the KP community. Because of KP's students and faculty, we have just succeeded in giving 95 children an amazing holiday season. That's what the holidays are all about, giving. They aren't about who can give the biggest or the best presents, but about the joy you spread to others. The Giving Tree embodied this holiday spirit, and I could not be prouder of the KP community for coming together and making the Giving Tree a huge success. It was such a success that we have already received thank yous such as this. To King Philip Cares, I can't thank you enough for putting together such a wonderful organization that helps the less fortunate. You have allowed people an opportunity to open their hearts and give to others during the holiday season. You have truly touched my family's heart, and we will always remember your loving kindness and the selfless generosity given to us. Thank you. So on behalf of KP Cares, thank you to everyone who contributed to the Giving Tree.
As we approach this last weekend before the break, keep that giving spirit in mind.
And remember, that's a gift you can give yourself that's better than kettle corn.
I did that wrong!
What are you doing to make the world a better place?
Raising two boys with the hopes that they change the world and make it wonderful for everyone.
I'm trying to get people to be kinder to one another, be kind to nature, be kind to animals. You gotta take care of the planet.
I'm working at Panera, and we actually donate all of our food at the end of the night to homeless shelters.
I love nothing more but to do some kind of a random act of kindness where you do something for someone, and my favorite part is if you can do it anonymously so they have no idea who, what, when, where, and why this happened.
Every second Sunday of the month, my family and we bring food for the food pantry to church, and then they bring it to the Plainville Food Bank.
What are you doing to make the world a better place?
not going out that much.
I recycle.
I am cooking lots and lots of eggs.
I try to help people whenever I can. I devote a lot of my time to things like volunteer programs and other things like that.
Oh goodness. This is a really hard question.